I get that we small ladies,
Yeah.
but deep ass voices can happen to small ladies.
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, it happens to me every morning. I sound like Wheezy Jefferson every morning.
That sound like Tone Loc.
Okay.
That sound like Tone Loc. Every morning. Every yeah. It's CJ the Bear.
Yo, I love that show.
You remember CJ?
Yes, CJ and Jamal, I love that show. Man, but I look like Weezy Jefferson. I'm sorry, I didn't do nothing with my
I ain't
hands,
do
y'all.
shit either, y'all.
I tried.
Not a damn thing.
I'm supposed to be doing fan con this weekend. I think I'm already in my fan con. Celie, if she was a bad bitch, that's what's going on.
AG, not Celie.
Fam. I know who you said. Okay.
Which Celie though?
Celie after she done got her groove back toward the end.
Okay.
Celie that then came
Oh
alive.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Celie that then did the till you do right by me and then overcame.
Yeah.
Celie that then prospered.
Yeah. Nah, I dig it. I dig it.
Might have had some little munching going on in between. You never know.
Okay.
Stuff happens. It's part of growth.
For sure.
Things bloom.
We grow, you know. We grow.
That was 86, wasn't it? Something like that. Something like that.
Hey, go look at the fits that they wore to the award show, G.
Ooh.
Look at Oprah's dress, G. Oh my God. The thing is just flowing in purple chiffon, bro. It's just it's the biggest, puffiest shit I've ever seen.
I want to see it. That must have been when she started it all. The first time Oprah said, I got this red carpet, bitch. Let me show them how Mississippi by Chicago do. Okay. I got to see this because this had to be 1986 when The Color Purple went to the Oscars because I think Moonstruck won the next year.
Moonstruck won an Oscar?
Yeah. Oscars back then.
Yo, Oscars just be making up shit sometimes. Do you ever go back and watch those movies and be like, this really wasn't all that?
Yeah. Well, usually I don't watch them together. Okay. I don't know what year it turned where I stopped watching the movies before the Oscars. I used to be, I wait until they was announced and then hear some additional buzz and then make a decision. Because I grew up so poor that part of my entertainment was waiting until Sunday for the Sun Times to come out just so I could see Roger Ebert's reviews. And I was poor enough to just read and dream about the movie and know what happened. Okay. That's called having an imagination. Something a lot of y'all don't have today.
Hey, I think Oprah got this shit wiped off the internet, G. There is, you know how she do. You know how she do.
You know.
Because I can't.
What's that?
No, see,
Oh,
she's
that's
looking fine. This is the recent. See, because the old one, look at her. See, this smile.
That's magazine cover.
Nah, y'all can't see this shit.
This magazine cover, Oprah. That's got money.
Now look at her eyes, y'all. Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. She knows she got rid of the trash photo. She's like, oh, when they look for that purple dress, that's what they gonna see. They not gonna see me in that chiffon, boofy bullshit that I like waddled down the fucking aisle because it was so big on her. Is
that how much it costs to get your pictures wiped from the internet? Billions? Is that how much the tax bracket we gotta be in to get our bad shit wiped off the internet?
You can get it. I know people who've gotten stuff removed.
I also know people who've gotten stuff removed in China, ain't been seen ever. again.
Well, no, they got it removed like off of the sites that it was on, but they paid a lot of money.
Expunged. Not no on no revenge porn type thing. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
Oop, my bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh gosh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What they posted on some Cornhub or something?
Um, since we're using pseudonyms, um, Dang Dusters and you know what I'm saying? You gotta go to your real career now, you know?
Life sure has been
that up a little bit.
life sure has been different since 2005.
Yeah.
That's like since Al Gore's internet won't let you live down the hardest of times. I wish I could have told y'all some of this stuff. Some of y'all got these OnlyFans popping up now. I could have told y'all back in the day when I was doing it on a webcam that looked like a potato.
Webcam still popping. Cam girls still popping. I mean, Bam girls still Nolly bands is still
Nolly bands. Oh snap! Look, y'all. If y'all haven't already seen, and I went on Instagram and Facebook this morning to make sure that my 267 real followers knew that tonight's special guest on this episode 18 of your comedy bestie with your homegirl Erica Switzer, is one of my comedy besties, my good homegirl, the one and only KB Marion, everybody. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. Now look, y'all, if you really know me, out of y'all 267, which I really think do, I'm anal when it comes to organizing. And so when I got the gumption to go ahead and put your comedy bestie in motion, I was so excited to have KB on that lineup. In fact, she was one of the very first people I contacted to get on. And we set this for today. And I've been waiting for this day. So I'm so excited to have you here on my comfy couch.
Yeah, I had it on my calendar. So thank you for having me.
I made her calendar, yo.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell you do. Shoot, I be forgetting shit, yeah.
Hey.
You gotta throw it on that calendar. You gotta throw it on that calendar.
We at that age. We gotta have reminders.
Oh no. I just self-diagnosed as ADHD. That's what I did. I was like, I can't do this. Can't do it. I need all the tools.
Yeah.
And the drugs.
Yeah.
I mean the bugs. The bugs. The drugs. Dr. Seuss.
I got all kinds of calendars. I got calendars on my refrigerator. I got calendars in my phone. Multiple calendars in my phone. Just juggling everything.
I got calendars in my thong. I got calendars up there. I got calendars.
Remember what we did though?
We got calendars here. We got calendars everywhere.
I feel like we were probably one of the last generations to have day of the week draws. I feel like they don't do that no more. The one person who's watching the show, first of all, thank you for watching. And if you're watching, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Bottom, you see that. And tell us, are we part of the last generation that had day of the week draws?
Well, I never had day of the week draws, but I do know what you're talking about.
Ventures, early 90s.
Ventures, bro.
When I was going to get my New Kids on the Block gowns.
And New Kids on the Block person?
Low key, high key. I had the rainbow collar and all that.
Ooh, baby.
Hold on, I got the money for clearance.
Oh, I sound just
Burn
like
it. Yeah, they was the stuff to me. I was like, yo, New Edition getting grown, and I can listen to them, but they sound like New Edition used to sound. So yeah, and look, Joey kind of cute. He looked like, yeah, woohoo. Anyway, I had all the new kids gear, and then I would go ahead and give me like a little pack of the 7 day of the week draws. It was $7.99 at the time.
So what day was it? Each dude was a day,
Sometimes.
or was it like each dude had a different design for each day?
Sometimes there would be some of the gowns that would have the full band picture, or you can have like some Wednesdays I would have Jordan on, okay, and other days, I would have Jonathan on. Well, I wouldn't have Jonathan on that much because I had that vibe early on. He was, yeah. And then I had my little Joey on Friday.
What's up with
he had a little sugar in his tank. I felt the vibes. He used to do the a little flary,
Yeah. Well, good for him.
Yes, I felt like we was part of the rainbow. We was eating the same shirt, but I got it. I understood. Yeah. But I was with them boys.
Yeah.
But never. I mean, and it's a fan sense. Mm-hmm. But yeah, day of the week draws, man. Mm-hmm. I miss them.
You miss them?
Kinda.
What artists do you want to make some day of the week draws?
SZA. Yeah.
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 She would make some dope day of the week draws.
And I'm not just saying that because...
And she could do a draws and bra set. Bro, my marketing mind. Bro. And she could do it around astrology and all of that with lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
Susan Holland.
Yeah. I can feel that heavy because I'm not just saying that because I got a Kill Bill inspired SZA poster in the back. This bright yellow, and that would be perfect for Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think her songs and her moods fit different days of the week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so hold up. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I was on Reddit goofing on my lunch, right? And I saw it was like in an R&B thread, like, what is an unpopular opinion that would get you kicked out the cookout?
Okay.
And somebody in there put, I know y'all gonna hate me for this, but I think Janet Jackson's discography is better than Michael's.
Woo!
And I said, you are correct.
Janet's discography is better than Michael's.
Yep.
Wow.
And I can defend it, and I bet you I could win it.
All right.
I could win it.
All right, let's try it.
Okay. Michael Jackson had the bangers.
Absolutely.
But that was from Off the Wall to Dangerous.
Yeah.
Which is 4 albums.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. 4 classics.
And Janet has 4 classics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to deny that.
All right.
Beyond Velvet Rope, Janet's got 4 Rhythm Nation, Control. Her first one, all right. Yeah.
Janet's a classic.
Janet's a classic.
So, all right. So they're sitting at 4 classics apiece. He got the pop bangers.
She got pop bangers.
Right.
Nancy bangers. They pop bangers, though.
And what else she got? What's his love songs after Thriller and Off the Wall?
Ooh, she takes over all the love song category.
What's the I'm Just a Vibe? We driving, we cruising. Who got that?
Yeah, they both got that.
Who has I can put this on at any time, day of the week? I have something for every mood. I have something for every time of the day. I have something for Janet is eating.
Invincible is still that. If you had to go out on top, Invincible is still
that type of R&B that he's doing on there, Janet did it on Janet. Janet brought in that wave of R&B. She was already there. She was already there.
She was owning the bedroom vibes of the early 90s and beyond, yes.
And she was really controlling that music, whereas that was just songs from Teddy Riley.
Michael couldn't go there though. This is where Janet has that niche. This is distinctly her own. I listened to so much of what the new kids will call purple sound. That kind of bedroom, dreamy R&B. Janet is one of the queens of that dreamy bedroom R&B. Every girly right now tries to sound like Janet with the airy voice or the Erykah Badu, one of the two.
And if they can really sing, it's a mashup with Brandy.
Absolutely. In the case of Michael, the legacy that Michael left, Michael's strength was his truth-telling songs. The songs that got censored, even though he was still the most popular entertainer in the world. The songs that made the lawyers cringe a little bit. And they had to say, Michael, you can't say that one. Can I say tyke me? No, you can't. You can't say tyke me.
Yo, that was wild.
Can you say like me?
It was wild with that. I was like, gee,
hella wild. That was the most Gary shit Michael Joseph Jackson ever did.
Wild.
To go head up with the man.
And be like, so I can't say that, huh?
Okay.
Shoot me. You can't say that either. Oh, okay.
Right?
What rhymes?
Sue me, who me? You can never do me. Hit me, bite me, don't you try to mic me.
I was like, that's that Joseph in them. He went straight Gary. Like, I can't say that, huh?
Right. Joe Jackson was alive in that brother right there in that moment. That was one of the most, one of the most ninja-ly things Michael ever did. God rest his soul. Yeah. Okay. So
there's a few moments that Michael Jackson needs to be punched in his throat, though. It was kind of some G moments. It was some G moments.
Okay.
The Paul McCartney moment. Ooh, that was a G moment.
Okay.
But if I was Paul McCartney, pow, right in the kiss. Yo, bro, I just told you what was up, and then you sat up there and tried to snake me. G, really? Like, not try to snake me. You're dead.
My dad always felt like Paul got his lick back by over singing. Well, not quite, in my opinion, over singing Michael, but like trying to like out G him and The Girl Is Mine. Mm-hmm. And I think, that is Paul's best attempt at an R&B classic in his life. Yeah, and the man, 97 years old, he could still try. I mean, well, he up there, but. Hey, Mama, what's going on? Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. At least some of my family love me. Yeah. But yeah, like I appreciate how Michael G'd up on handling that Beatles stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, and that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Low key, go the rest of the evening talking about this and I get tired. But okay, so KB, can you tell us a little bit about, because you've been doing this a long time, can you give us a little bit of when you got started or like when you knew this was one of your things for sure?
Yeah, so I got started 13 years ago, 14 years ago. I got started when I had got riffed, which in teaching is when you get laid off. And so I got riffed and I was really depressed and I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in teaching or if I wanted to pursue what I originally was going to go to school for, which was law school. And so I ended up like buying some weed and just chilling at my apartment. And I had ended up, this is when Comedy Central was like that shit. And I was always into comedy. Like my stepdad, he had like comedy albums, and he would like let me listen and watch stuff that I shouldn't at a very young age. He would go to Lions Video, and Rent, and Lions Video always had the bomb ass popcorn. Like they had that little salty, good popcorn. I don't know what. So, and so I was always a big fan of comedy, and so then I got laid off smoking weed, watching a whole bunch of comedy, and like I was watching everything. Like it's wild how like a lot of comedians now watch their influence only, or within the sphere of their influence only, because I watched everything. Yeah. Like I watched every comedian. Like I was watching like Kathleen Madigan, Wanda Sykes, some more, Monique, Adele Givens, like Wanda Page, Red Fox, Robin Harris, Bernie Mac, like all of those Def Jam dudes, all of the Comedy Central, Dane Cook, Bill Burr, like every Greg Giraldo, Jerry Seinfeld, Colin Quinn, like literally at Wendy Liebman, who I was like just thought was the dopest writer ever. Like I was like, dude, if I could figure out how to write like that. Like that's what Samora I thought was just such a dope writer and performer. Like she could just, the way that she so elegantly could be so raunchy but so hard hitting, and it's so fast, but it's like it has this punch to it and energy to it, and there's a style to how she even looks on stage, and yeah, all of that, and I'm just rewatching all of that shit and rewatching old clips of Comic View, and stuff like that. And so I'm like, I think I can do this. So I like start research and like looking up stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna try this. So I wrote out a set, like that, timed it, and I think it's supposed to be, like the certain amount of time. So I'm practicing it in the mirror, and then I sign up to go to this place called the Comedy Shrine in downtown Naperville. This is the original Comedy Shrine, and I sign up and I go up there, and I don't tell anyone it's my first time, and I do my set. And people laughed, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it. And when I got off stage, these older, like kind of a little bit more seasoned people, they were like, hey, haven't seen you around before. That was really good. Like, what mics are you hitting? I was like, this is it. This is the first one. I've never done this before. And they were like, that's your first time? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, like you're gonna be good. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I proceeded to suck for years, bro. I proceeded to suck. Like everybody around, like, because I look at it as sucking. Like, here's what I define as like sucking, right?
Okay.
Like when you lack voice. See, everybody was like, oh, you're making people laugh. And I'm like, yeah, but these are jokes. They're just jokes. They're not like the ideas that I want to discuss or the feelings that I want people to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just jokes. And I think that, like, that's what I mean by sucking. Like, yeah, you're getting laughs, but it's like, it's not, it's serviceable. Like it's basic. It's not, that's what I mean by sucking. Like it wasn't like I was bombing. It was that that was like like meh as a kid, mid as a kid say, like it was that.
Dang. So that sounds like you had to start a hero's journey of sorts out of that pit.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to anybody who's in a bit of that pit who might be saying, yeah, I'm out here getting serviceable laughs. Yeah, I got my jokes, but what can I do to like find my voice?
Whatever your habit is now of you writing and performing, do the complete opposite. So like what what I get tired of was everybody was like, "Oh, you're a good writer," and I'm like, "Well, fuck, that must mean I'm not performing well."
Mm.
Like if I don't want you to be, I want you to be like, "Man, that was that was funny." I don't want you to be like, "Oh, that was good," right? Like like this is
Right.
not necessary.
I've had that happen. I felt that.
Yeah, And so I realized one of my friends who like I've lost touch with, not in a bad way. I just he is done, but he stopped doing comedy. But is the homie Charlie Stone, really funny dude. And he was like, "There's two types of performers, right? When in comedy, he was like, there are those that start as like writing based,
Mm-hmm.
and there are those that start as like performance based."
Mm.
And he was like, "You're one of those that starts writing based." And I was like, "So I need to start my jokes now performance based.
Mm-hmm.
I need to perform. Like, I need to figure out what it is, because that's the other part of it. Like the the writing is one half, the performance is the other half, and you marry that together, and you got to stand up bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that was my whole thing. So I had started, I had took some time off, and then because I was a part of a sketch group that broke up, and we were doing a lot of great stuff, but then like this whole stupid bullshit happened and whatever. So I took like some time off. I was like, and my buddy was like, "Yo, I started a new mic. You should come to it." And I was like, "All right, well, if I come to it, I'm gonna do it differently. Like I'm not like I'm gonna come to it, and I'm not writing shit.
Nice.
I'm not like I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna perform whatever I'm thinking, and I'm gonna riff, and then I'm gonna figure it out, and then until I figure it out, I'm just gonna figure it out on stage." And I just did that for a couple of years, and that's how I found my voice, and that's when I married performing with writing. So then it was like, oh, if I can, like, it was like I realized that facial expressions and pausing and like movement and staging, and mind you, I worked in like I was like a theater coach. I worked with kids and all of that stuff. What's interesting is it to you when you're doing it, you're not realizing that you're not doing one or the other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it took a moment of like pausing and kind of reflecting, because I really did want to like I'm a quietly competitive person, so like I don't do anything to be like kind of good at it, be great at it. And so like it was just about like kind of unlocking it. So like whatever habit you have, do the complete opposite of that. If you write all your jokes first, try going in with nothing and coming up with something. Talk about the things that on the way there that get on your nerves, or what you noticed, or start breaking, expanding, and it'll help when you're in like live situations and shit like that, like when you're performing live, because then now you're flexing, you're developing another muscle. So do the opposite. And if you're a performance based person, which I had a friend who was like that, who was a performer first and the jokes was not there. And some of y'all need to come to realize that like a lot of performers will get off on energy and being a really good performer, so they think like and charming, and some people can uh get really far with that, and if they're smart and if they're reflective and humble, then they'll eventually learn how to like write and kind of craft stuff. which happens.
Absolutely.
A lot of them do. A lot of good ones do. So and so like if you're one of those people who's like a performer first, the thing that I would say is don't think about it as like um oh I would say like bring in your performance. One of my friends, I was like, yo, dude, like you do all of this because you think the wild and wacky guys. Like I was like, I know that's your thing. I was like, but sometimes it this is getting a little dang cookie. It's getting a little overdone to where the action you're relying way too much on the action, and now you're writing trash jokes. I was like, so here's what I say to those people: underperform at an open mic. Don't do. You go up there with the jokes that you said you want to hit. You do those jokes. Don't do no act outs. Don't do no. You see if that joke can stand on its own. See if that joke can stand on its own without any
no dressing.
No dressing, no frosting.
As unseasoned as it can be.
Yeah.
To see if in its barest form that it still stands.
Yeah. Because sometimes I have to catch myself, like, am I selling this? Like, I have a joke, and I realize that, like, yeah, there's a big act out in it, but it's okay because my whole set is, one, not that,
right,
and two, it's funny as hell. Like, it's just it's the diesel. Yeah. So, like, it's like, people are like, am I going to stop doing it? No, that's a funny, and that really happens. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those things where it's, but I did, if you getting hokey, if it's a lot of
too much Steve Martin.
If it gets a little too much of this, write down your jokes, and for just a couple of months of just focusing on the words of the actual jokes, the material. And then bro, and I'm saying bro as a general all gender thing, your material will get better because now you can splice back in the performance part, and it'll take your jokes to the next level. When you have both, it's fire.
Absolutely. And it's good to break it down bit by bit like that so you can adjust and scale. Some crowds need a little bit more rah-rah. Mm-hmm. Some crowds need you to pull back. Mm-hmm. You'll be ready to go because you'll be tested in both situations.
Or sometimes the position that you're in on a lineup may need you to be, this person is a little bit more chill. Maybe I want to bring it up a notch.
Right.
Or this person is very all over the place. I'm going to ride this energy wave, but not like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to be ready for whatever spots you're on the show and ready to contribute. I was echoing that in a post that I shared on my Facebook a few days ago about how people complain about not being what they want to be on the show lineup. First of all, just be happy you got booked. Second, and I'm not saying that is like, oh, be a pick me. No, I'm just saying, especially in an industry where it's a lot of oversaturation and we're in a very crowded and very talented market like Chicago. I mean, when I'm saying so talented, I know a talented ass sister who's one of the funniest chicks in NOLA who's moving up here later in the month. This is going to be crazy. And I'm going to get to her a little bit later. You got to be ready to go at any position. If you're starting out, you got to be ready to welcome up a cold room and get them heated up.
Yeah,
or rehost or do something if you need to or adjust.
I have worked with comedians who have pulled some stuff with the lineups. I remember I did one show, and the organizer of it, the host of it, was like, well, what you all are doing the same amount of time, what order? And this was before this other comedian had showed up. And the organizer was like, well, I think KB, I'm going to have you close it out. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Like wherever. No. It was I was second to close out
Mm.
because the person who closed it out had closed it out in previous years. So I was like, cool, and whatever. So we were all set, and then this other comedian shows up, and so then we go back through the order again, and then comedian goes, "Oh yeah, I think the order is," and puts themselves as the second to last before the closer, right? And I was like, "Oh, you just wanted to," and I was like, "Oh, you didn't want to. You just sat up there and just flipped the whole thing because you deem that you're all right, cool." I've had that happen to me so many times, and I'm gonna tell you what you should do as a comedian. You should be gracious and just say, okay, especially if you're just doing the same amount of time. If we're all doing the same amount of time, whatever. This obviously means more to somebody else's ego than it, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like whatever. So you be gracious, you say okay, and then regardless of how the person before you, because I ended up opening or whatever after the host, regardless of whatever is going on, and I am going to tell you this, turn your energy up to like a gazillion and just punch the audience in the face for a good, like, if you're doing like we were doing 15 for a good like 5 minutes, and then let them breathe, and then let the person who's supposed to go after you rewrite their set. Like, I will. That was like one of the big things that me and some of my friends coming up, where it was very competitive. Like, oh, let's see if we can bury each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, how good you about to do? Because I'm about to bury you. Let's see if you can. Because sometimes a person can crush so much that it is like it can be like you're underwater. Like you can't even ride their wave. You are submerged underneath.
It's like, ooh, all right.
You
All
know
right,
what I'm
not
saying?
tonight,
Like,
not
it's
tonight.
like, damn, that was a banger, like, and it's like, damn, like, how am I, I'm on, and so you gotta try to,
Go hard.
plunge out some, you gotta dig out your own and do your thing, but like wash them, make them work. Since you wanted that spot so bad, all right, you gonna have to go after this. Go after this. Go after this, and then
Make them feel it.
make them feel it. Make them work. Since you wanted that, since that must be a coveted spot to you, but you just not gonna get it just doing just whatever.
Because the fact of the matter is, any given night, anybody can really get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody can really get it. I mean, one thing is funny first. First be funny. Okay. First have material. First own the fact that, okay, you got a booking. More than likely you deserve that booking. Yeah. Own that shit. And now go ahead and do your shit. And if somebody gives you a hard time about your spot, tries to switch up on you, just like KB said, get up there and rock that shit. Period. Like, just that's it. Yeah. Go show out. Yeah. The best you can show out. If you have just one of them nights where it's, oh, well, it was just chance. No. As long as you go up there and do your shit to the best of your ability in that moment. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah. As long as you can leave that shit with your head held high and collect your check and go about your business. Hey. Yeah. 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 And always be professional. I can't stand, and that professional does not mean brown nose. Okay. The professional doesn't mean ass kiss. Gotta know the difference. Got it. Like it professional means that you show up on time, you show up prepared, you respect their audience, their staff, no divaness, no, like, a lot of
be mindful of like, certain, if you're working in certain clubs or you're working with certain headliners, be mindful of certain things, overstepping boundaries. I've never worked with a dick headliner. And it's always been like, hey, how are you doing today? Just typical. It's typical respect, to be quite honest. Like when people get diva stuff, I've never bumped into no diva stuff with any head. None. They've been chills is all get out, but don't you know respect the boundary too.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't.
treat it like your job.
Yeah. And it is.
Yeah.
It's a source of income, right? Or at the very, you should be getting something for your
Yeah.
time. Um, Even if it is drink tickets, God bless y'all's hearts. Uh,
Stop doing that. Even if it's a come up for a comedian, pay them people. I don't give a damn.
yeah, can we get paid? Some of us don't drink. And it's not a knock to people who do. I used to be one of them. And I used to drink like a mother lover. Like I can't even drink, I can't even fish. I mean, I can't swim, but I could drink like a fish. See, that's I sounded drunk right there. Um, it's it's a principle right now that I just don't drink. It's not an offense to any place that I go to, and it's not that I don't want to put dollars into an organization. If I'm at your establishment, sure, give me free wings, damn it, but I'll buy the wings if I'm gonna go get the chance to perform and collect from the producer of the show. It's fine. But yeah, drink tickets are very how do we say 2015. We have a whole younger
No,
generation.
drink tickets are fucking 1982, bro. It is like when it's past 2015. It is this that's ancient. That's so antiquated. Like I get my whole thing is I then don't. Like I get that's a nice offering, but don't say that as payment. Like that is a like I get it for those that are like let's say you don't have any money for your show or whatever. I would say then don't do that show. Like if you can't put money in somebody's pocket, and I'm not talking about open mics or very specified showcases that are very clear and understand what they're doing. I'm talking about when it's like, trial by fire. You're not sure, like maybe drink tickets and maybe yeah, drink for sure. Drink tickets. It's like no, fam. Like if it's not like when you go to an establishment and it's people are there drinking and chilling for comedy and they talking about they got drink tickets for you and that's the payment. It's like, are you sure about that? All right, so while I performed, they ordered burgers, beer. While I was performing, people ordered this. Can I get a percentage of that then? I want that. Give me that. Tip me on that. Give me the money for that. How much is that? Like what are we talking about here?
Feed us. It costs a lot less to feed comedians than it does to make them drink. And don't aid in their health problems any further and or mental problems. Help people get healthier. Feed them. Put food in their belly. People don't never ask. Like there's people living beyond paycheck to paycheck. It's folks living nickel to nickel, trying to rub them together and make most sense because it make no sense. It's crazy out here.
Mm-hmm. So no, that is no.
Oh,
wow. What's the conversation?
Jody asks, "Are y'all the type to leave after your set, or you stay to support nowadays?"
It depends. I'm one of I have two philosophies about this. And I'm just gonna keep it real. Some of y'all need to stay and watch stand up. For real, for real. Y'all like All right. If you have another show, I get it. But some of y'all would be better if you watched really good comedians. And a lot of the people, all right, so when do the best comedians usually go up?
Toward the end.
At the end. So if you're constantly leaving out on watching, like I watch comedians. So like, so to see like, and I watch younger comedians, like, like it's not even, it's not a, I learn stuff from them.
Absolutely.
Like this is a shared learning space. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I understand if you have other shows, especially if you're and like the whole money thing. Some people like, dude, if I go into the city, I need to do 2-3 shows. Or if I'm going out, I need to do 2 shows to make this worthwhile. So boom,
Right.
I totally understand that. But sometimes if you're going to one of them bullshit drink ticket shows, maybe sometimes like go to a good show and watch. Like Chicago is so good to go watch like really good professional comedians because they don't leave. They don't never leave. So you can watch and interact and see really good comedians at local showcases for like, if you own the showcase, you could just watch them. Like what I'm saying?
If you're at the venue, you can just sneak on in and go watch.
You could just watch them. Like, and so like it's like watching is a benefit because like I've learned a lot about comedy just through watching comedians. Like I understand what I'm supposed to do on stage by watching comedians.
Absolutely.
Like staying in tune and present with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like and really focusing. I'm not saying it for you to sit up there and be like, oh, fire set. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Were you able to take something away for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I watch, Kristen Toomey or Darius Kennedy or Joey Villagomez, or if I watch, or even Jeff Hall or any local anybody, like I'm saying, like anybody, or Lita Hall, I could watch anybody and literally take something away from that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So like watching and for some of y'all, some of the stuff that is hindering your growth, you could just learn it by watching it. But you don't even know that's the thing that would like really the
little little extra,
that extra thing.
You have to be there. You have to be in the moment. You have to see what these people do from start to finish. You have to see how the show even goes on. You have to see what the crowd is like, the atmosphere. It's hard to gauge from that, just watching clips or just being in and out. I've never been the type to leave after my set, no matter when and no matter what part of my comedy journey. Doesn't matter how badly I bombed that set either. The worst bomb I had, I looked at the doggone Uber and Lyft prices and said, damn, that could be a round trip ticket to Oahu. But shit, I'm trying to get out the south side because I suck tonight.
Yeah.
But you know what? I sat there and I took it. And I watched pros go up there and go pop, 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 and get that mic, and then people no mercy. So no, there's so much growth in learning and growing and being present and being in the room. And I'm more than just getting up there and performing. Y'all know we run shows, we produce shows, we see the ins and outs, we run the rooms, we know the layouts, we know the venue, the staff. It's important. For me, running Joke Sisters, it's important for me to know putting names to on the tickets to the faces and shaking people's hands and welcoming them and seating them. So by the time I get on the stage and start miking it up, Oh snap! That was the girl who welcomed us in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's time to jam. I
Yeah.
love that. It's a part of the experience, and it's something that you don't get sitting at home watching it on the screen. It's something
And
that you don't get just looking at a phone screen.
and that was the other thing I was gonna say too. Take I know we gotta promote comedy. I know we gotta do the things, but I also comedy like everything can't be streamed. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't nothing like the actual experience of being there, right? Like go the clips, that's a commercial, y'all. Those are commercials to say, hey, come out to a show. And some of y'all understand that. And some of y'all don't get it. Some of the audiences don't get it. It's like, come out to a show. But I also think that comedy is not really meant for clips. Like stand-up comedy is not really meant for what we're doing with it currently, I feel like. Like, yes, jokes are this structure that is a short form structure that is easily sliceable, insert, boom.
Right.
But it's also a feeling.
Oh yeah.
And you watching it on your iPhone 6 with the busted speaker.
Right.
You don't got your homie next to you doing it. You don't smell the weed smoke of the homie right here. You ain't got your homie.
You don't see somebody in the aisle running back and forth.
You don't got that. You know what I'm saying?
It's real shit.
That's the difference. Like I've been watching clips of the Kendrick Lamar concert overseas, and I'm like, that looks fire. And it's always been the family ties. I'm like, that dude get me hyped too. Like, but the thing about it is the energy of it. Like you have to be there to feel it. Like you have to be there to feel it. Like you can't even adequately record anything that will end up on your phone and sound good enough
exactly
to give you the feeling of being in a club where a comedian is rocking.
Unless you were there.
Unless you were there.
There is nothing I'm telling you right now. And Jody, you talking about that, you're welcome. We appreciate you too. Mm-hmm. To answer your question, when I was in Shanghai and Kung Fu Comedy was the first place I had started going to open micing, and the owner said, "You're funny. Why don't you do this more often instead of just coming once a month?" And I was like, crippling anxiety. But I overcame that and started coming in because it was free for me to just come on the weekends and watch. It didn't matter who was there. They had international comics come, and Kyle Kinane was there. So I got to see Kyle Kinane for free. Watched him absolutely murder for 90 minutes to the point where my face was numb. Like old school Coca-Cola numb. Like, and he riffed some stuff about the KKK and soul food and had me absolutely dying.
Kyle Kinane's a beast.
He is an absolute beast. And I was able to talk to him after the show. I had to leave. I lived down the street from Kung Fu Comedy, a good 10-minute walk. But I was the first person to see him out in the bar area and talk to him. We started talking about Winston Plaza. And that's why I was sad that I didn't get a chance to see him when he came back to my former home, Kicking It production team, Still Not Friday, out of Two Brothers Roundhouse, where we had Kyle Kinane come through the day before Juneteenth or after?
After, for the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, for the 10-year anniversary. But I did DM him and he DM'd me back and it was great. But yeah, you have to be able to stick around at a club long enough in order to have those type of moments happen.
Yeah.
If you're not there, whether it's supporting and saying hi to a fellow comedian, because hey, you're in that fraternity now, whether you gotta admit it, right? Or it's just sticking around, say bye, babe, bye, how you doing? Bye, hey, give folks some good feeling on the way out, especially if you performed. Don't you want to leave them with a call to action? Don't you want to make sure they follow you? Don't you want to make sure they stay in touch with you?
Yeah.
So that's just me. That's just how I feel about it. It's a communal experience, and when you share that good laugh together and those good vibes and that good energy, you want to keep that thing going. So that's one of those things that I know that we were doing with Still Not Friday Comedy. That's something that uh, we were doing with the pop out because dang, we had a nice good run at the Lincoln Lodge, but we will be back in various formats because it's not like we ever left anyway. But we do have some exciting stuff coming up. KB, do you want to do the honors? Or do you want me to do the honors?
You can do the honors.
Okay. So, as you heard at the top of the show, 13, 14 years plus in the making, the absolutely hilarious comedy stylings of the one and only KB Marion on her debut comedy album. The recording is Sunday, September 7th at the Comedy Vault in Batavia. The album is called Simply, and it is going to be simply fantastic. You simply must bring your ass to the Comedy Vault in far west suburban Batavia to enjoy this historical taping as this beautiful Black woman takes that mic and rocks it for A-Town and beyond. The one and only KB Marion on my couch, baby. All right.
Yeah. I'm excited. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a lot of fun. What's interesting is that I when I went in and talked to the Liz about like booking the day, she was like, "You can have." I was like, "A Sunday?" She was like, "Yeah, you can have. What do you want?" And I was like, "Can I do September 7th?" She's like, "Oh, that's a great date because it's after summer and like, you know what I'm saying, people are done with trips and all that." I was like, "Yeah," but tell my Virgos out there, it's my mom's birthday. So I was like, to kind of commemorate not only her birthday and her support, but to do it on that day. So, yeah.
Y'all remember the day, Sunday, 9/7, and bringing on out to the Comedy Vault in Batavia for the one and only KB Marion's debut comedy album recording, Simply,
hosted by Chloe Michaela, featuring Jeff Hall. So, yeah.
Pull up. And the night before that, Saturday, September 6th, at the Big Theater Aurora. Come through, because guess what? It Ain't My Fault Comedy just got renewed for the entire 2025 season.
Yeah.
And Saturday, September 6th, we are bringing the SNF family together for one night only, a crossover featuring KB Marion, y'all.
Yeah.
Closing us out along with the whole production team is Still Not Friday. And yes, we have 95 producers. And yes, they all gonna run some time. And yes, y'all gonna have to come through and see. It's gonna be a non-free show. So we will be doing our premium work, only our finest for our premium shows. Pull up the Bit Theater. Follow Instagram at Bit Improv. We are out here in Aurora. Oh, first Saturdays of the month through the end of the year, y'all. I love it.
Doing big things, it ain't my fault. Doing big things.
Doing big things. And also, speaking of doing big things, as I mentioned earlier, I mentioned a lovely lady coming up from NOLA, moving to Chicago toward the end of the month. Not only is she a fantastic comedian and producer, but she's also a hell of a photographer. So that fantastic picture you happen to see of me with the nude bodysuit, it would be nude if I was that color. The one and only Ketchy Chibweze is coming up from NOLA. That's right. And Ketchy Chibweze, that's right. You say it like that, baby. Coming on up. And she is coming up for the December installment of Jokes Sister Chicago, Saturday, September 27th. A couple of days right after Christmas. Use some of that Christmas money and come on out and get y'all some laughs with me, KB Marion, and Ketchy Chibweze. And coming, Kansas City, Missouri's finest, Miss Just Laugh herself,
Janelle Banks,
winner of the 2023 Black Women in Comedy Laugh Fest, Best Fest, Janelle Banks, everybody.
Yeah.
It's going to be a powerhouse of a show. Sisters up there doing a hell of a lot of funny stuff. Saturday, December 27th, y'all. Y'all stay tuned because we think the last It Ain't My Fault show of the year might be on that Saturday as well. So if it's one of them nights where your girl is double dipping, starting off at 8 o'clock showing and hosting and producing her own 9:30 at the Lincoln Lodge, so be it. It's going to be one of them nights, but hey, I'm blessed to be able to do it, and I'm blessed to be able to have them opportunities, and blessed to be able to rock with the great KB Marion. So KB, this is around that time of the show that I like to call host, feature, headline. And your lineup is Wanda Sykes, Marina Franklin, Chloe Hillard,
Chloe host. Marina feature. Wanda headline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Wanda to me is like the most consistent out of her crew. You know, that crew that she kind of came up with. If y'all don't know, Wanda Sykes came up with like a fire crew, like Nate Robertson,
Marina.
Louis C.K., Chris Rock, like
Chappelle
that,
technically is
Dave Chappelle. Like she came up with some fire. So all of her specials have been consistently good. Like people low key count, and the Upshaws is good.
Yeah.
Like she consistently has been putting out good stuff, and I don't think people really pay attention to the fact that she's been producing like award-winning stuff, and like I don't think she gets the kind of the credit or whatever. But for years, and then Marina Franklin, who's at Comedyplex in September, which is super dope. Like I saw that and I was geeked. I was like, oh my, I don't know. Every time Marina Franklin comes to town, I go see her.
We gonna be in the building. Like we'll be in the building. Every time.
Marina Franklin is super influential to me. Like for me, she's S tier. Like do I have time to tell this quick story?
Yes, you do.
So like I remember when I first started comedy, it was not. That's how long I've been doing comedy. It was not. The black comedy scene was very South Side. It was a very specific style of comedy, right? Great comedians like they will tear the house down. Just fire, smart, funny, energetic, had cool bits, like just know how to work the crowd. I wasn't that. I was not that. That just wasn't mine necessarily lane at the time. Like I wasn't that. Me now, yeah. Me at that time, no. And I remember, but I was like, because this is once again the whole conversation about. Remember when I said, like, people were like, "Oh, you were good," but I felt like I sucked because I didn't have a voice. This was one of those moments. Marina Franklin was like pivotal to me finding my voice because I remember I was on a train. I was on the Red Line coming down from the Howard stop because there was a mic up there, and I remember Emily Galati. We both were going to Andersonville, and so we were having this conversation or whatever, and I was like, dude, like I don't do well in front of black audiences. I don't get it because the comedians I love are like black comedians. Like I'm not like I know that what I'm writing is funny, but I'm not quite connecting. And she was like, "Have you ever watched The Awkward Kings of Comedy?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "It's like Hannibal Buress, Victor Bernardo, Marina Franklin, and Baron Vaughn and Eric Andre." And I was like, "No." And so that night I went and found it to order it, and I ordered the DVD that night. And I ordered it and I watched it, and I was like, it like changed my whole fucking life. Because it was like, like I can totally, I get it clicked for me. It was like, okay, I can totally be me and do this. And like um it was pivotal. And I have bumped into comedians who talked about how I was that for them,
Nice.
which is crazy, like on the scene. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But like, I don't know if she knows how like how important she is to like millennial Black women comedians. Like, I don't know if she knows how like important her existence, like what she did. Like, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real, and I try not to fangirl around her. I think I've never met her. I've only I because I don't want to fangirl, so like I like only just like go and watch, and then I'll be like, oh, great set last night, like that was awesome. And she's like, oh, thank you so much for that. Like, but I never like I feel like I would gush and make her feel weird. I feel like I would make her feel weird because I would gush or something. I would get emotional or something. Anyway, so like, but I don't think that she knows, like, especially for millennial Black women who had a different way of presenting their comedy, how pivotal she was to that.
There was a reason that I had Cottonmouth the entire time I was on Friends Like Us. It's because I was smiling like this the entire time.
That was a fire episode, though.
I appreciate it.
I listened to Friends Like Us. So
I do as well, and I
was so honored. I was like, I know her.
Yo, it was a huge honor, and absolutely take your flowers, Queen, please, because you helped us show up as us.
Yeah.
In a very tough comedy world. And the people think that this should be sweet, and it sure the hell ain't. But you definitely help us define those voices further. And with your fearlessness and your boldness and always being present and out there and riding for us and riding for yourself and keeping us fancy and free. Thank you for your contributions. And we will see you Thursday, September 18th at the Comedy Plex in beautiful Oak Park. Black owned, LGBTQ friendly, great place for comedy in the western suburbs. As you hear, we have tons of great places for comedy in the west suburbs. We are over here rocking and rolling. Don't forget, Wednesday night, you can catch me taking the approach that KB mentioned earlier, where I let go of wanting to write, and go ahead and perform and just stay in the moment. With Jeff Hall hosting at Laugh and Enjoy open mic Wednesday night. You get 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes, because we've been having 6 to 10 comics coming in. So come get your 10 minutes and work out your longer stuff. Don't come up in here with no riff-raff. We will have riff-raff. We cut riff-raff off. We had some riff-raff last week. I almost had to bounce them with my broad shoulders. But nevertheless, come with your bits. Come work them out. Let's have fun at Laugh and Enjoy in West Chicago. Before I close out, I always ask every guest, so KB Marion, who is your comedy bestie? And you can say Amy Blaze, that's fine.
It would probably, I have two, but I actually have 3, but they don't do, like, have you ever been the homie that's like still doing it, like, and all your homies is like, you the one, like, keep doing it, like, you the one, like, you keep doing it, like, it's like, and so, like, as far as, like, active, it would be Amy, um, but I have a lot of great comedy relationships, man. Like I would feel really bad if I left off somebody like Rudy, like Rudy Reese, or my homie Ian Ellis, who, man, I wish there's not enough time for all the ways that he pissed off the scene, and I just sat back.
Everybody's got to have an Ian that pisses off the scene.
Yeah.
And mine is Ian Badenhorst in Shanghai, China, my favorite South African. Hi, Ian, my comedy baby daddy.
And
my comedy
and
estranged husband.
And then my homies Maurice and Leroy. Those would be the comedy besties to me.
Yeah.
Leroy came up with KB because his dyslexic ass couldn't write out Kimberly, so he would just put KB. And then they'd be like, KB Marion. I'm like, I guess that's me. Like, cause you know how you have your homie sign you up for the, and he was just, and then he kept doing that, and I was like, I guess I'm KB. And because I was teaching, I was like, all right, it's cool to be KB or whatever. So, yeah, we had some adventures. We went to California, drove to California, and all that shit.
Damn.
Like how you and Jeff are homies, and y'all, like, that's how Leroy and I were. You know what I'm saying?
You got to come back and tell us more. I'm gonna have to do a whole new run of organizing shows and have you come back for at least 2 or 3 more.
Hey, I didn't even really touch the comedy stories that I have. Gee, we didn't even touch them. We could do a story side chat with KB on Erica's Bestie, comedy Bestie.
Let's do it.
And boom.
We're going to do it. And please make sure you comment what kind of stories you want to hear KB tell. We can have KB come back and tell comedy stories. We can have her tell on the road stories. We can have her tell horror stories. We can have her tell favorite venue stories. Mm-hmm. We can have a
worst venue stories.
Ooh, she got some of them. And we can even have KB just come hang out and talk music or whatever. Yeah. You tell us in the comments. But regardless, we'll be back here next Tuesday, same bad time, 6:00 Central on Tuesday. Steven Springer? No. Big Al Moser.
Shout out to Big Al.
Big Al Moser next week, then Steven Springer the following week. I think. No, I think I'm getting my dates wrong. And I think Jose Montero is up after Big Al. Just keep watching your comedy Bestie in my social media, and I'll tell you who's up next.
I didn't talk about the mob run club that was a schemer and the mobster. I'll come back with some stories.
Ain't no Rico type ish, is it?
Yeah, they done got in trouble and arrested already.
Oh, okay. Since they already done in and we ain't got no liability, we'll be back with that story on your comedy Bestie with KB Marion and your girl Erica Switzer. We love you guys. Bye. Peace out.